Hi, I'm Nancy Peterson, your intentional mom coach, and today I want to share with you how to thrive during quarantine. So I want to begin with your mindset. How are you feeling right now? Are you fearful? Are you overwhelmed? Are you ready? Are you fearless? Where are you coming from in your mindset? This is a crazy time for all of us. Nobody planned this pandemic that is worldwide and changing our everyday lives. So let's get ready to embrace the crazy. 7 years ago, my life completely changed, and I have it written in my bathroom. It says, find joy in the journey. So we're on a journey, and somehow we have to find joy. Pastor Buntain always said, things you appreciate tend to get better. Things you depreciate tend to get worse. So stop and think about, what can I control right now? There is so much out of our control with jobs, with getting toilet paper, with just the basic things of life that it's out of my control. But what can I control? Right now, I can control my household. I can control, well, I say that loosely, my children, but I can control what goes on in my house. So I want to start with saying I actually believe it's healthy for kids to have nothing on their schedules, to have nowhere to go and nothing to do. I'll share with you a little bit more on that in a minute, but I think we live in a world that's high achieving, multitasking, speedaholics, and we're actually slaves to our schedule. And now we are entering the slow zone. So this will help us stop being overcommitted, overcaffeinated, overscheduled, and overloading our family time. Now, let's get real. This could get ugly. In fact, it probably already has for you. So, how are we going to make the most of this time? If you stick to a schedule and you stick to a plan, I promise you, your days will get easier and they will get better. Routines will completely help. Some days, if I want to be honest, there are days that I just survive the day. And that's okay. And there'll be some days that I actually thrive and I'm this amazing mother that I've always dreamed I would ever be. But I want to share some tips of how I get somewhere between survive and thrive in my daily life as a homeschool mother of 6. So here are some tips to work with your kids. So tip number 1 is allow your kids to be bored. It teaches them creative skills. So there's a book, Not So Fast, and then there's another one, The Hurried Child. And if your kids are bored, that's okay. They need to stop and learn creativity. They need to figure out what can I do with my life. In our house, it is the B word. You are not allowed to say the B word, because if you do, my kids know you end up doing chores. You may not say that you're bored, because if you're bored, I will definitely find you something to do. So that's out. That boredom creates them thinking. It creates a space for them to think and find ways to entertain themselves. They are so scheduled throughout their day. We have taken away this ability to just free play, to entertain yourselves, to figure out what to do if you have nothing to do. We have depressed this creativity within our kids because we don't give them the space to be creative. So that's number 1. Let your kids be bored. Number 2, set goals that you want to teach your kids. Maybe in this season they don't know how to tie their shoes, or forbid your potty training right now. Oh, I'm sorry if that's where you're at. But maybe it's how to correctly wash your hands. How many have you, as a mom, you've said wash your hands, but how many of you actually sat and tried and explained what does that look like? We go to the fair every year and they have this thing where the kids put some stuff on their hands and then they put it under ultraviolet lights to see the germs, and then they wash their hands and they can see where they've missed it. I so wish we could do that right now. But teach your kids how to wash their hands, how to empty the dishwasher, how to fold clothes, how to wash their clothes. This is a great time to stop and get productive in your household. Things that you never had time to do with your kids and to teach them, you suddenly have the gift of time. Number 3, avoid screens and look for creative things online. Now, I'm not saying never do screens, but save them and use them more of a last resort. And when you do have to use them as first resort, as creative things. Like going to YouTube and learning how to. I think my son taught him how to do all this stop motion stuff by watching YouTube videos. YouTube all the different things. There's Rad Kids, there's Scholastics, there's cool math games. There's so many websites out there. I have to say, I love YouTube in the sense of you can figure out anything you want to learn on YouTube. So the other night, we don't do video games in my house. My husband vetoed them from the very beginning. So we don't have video games. And I was thinking, man, it'd be really cool if we had like that dance game. It would be fun as a family. Well, pretty soon my daughter has on the TV YouTube channel, and it's showing us how to do this dance game. And we all just pick a character and we just follow that character. We didn't need an expensive, I don't even know what it's called, the Wii or whatever it's called. We just did it with a free YouTube. We also did YouTube when we were doing things like name the Disney song or the Disney character when they're speaking. There's so much out there that you can be creative with. So if you're going to do screens, encourage fun things on it. Encourage learning on it. Of course, they're going to need some down and screen time. That's okay too. You have to decide as a family what that looks like. But I want to first think, okay, what can they do outside of just playing mindless video games? Have them watch a movie in a foreign language, a language that maybe you want to teach them, and they work on Duolingo that's free. I mean, there's lots of things out there that you could use productive. And you know what the cool thing is right now is so many places are letting it to be free. So things that you once used to pay for are now putting them on free, and you can trial them out and you can really enjoy and use your time on screens more productively. Okay. So the next one is creative event to celebrate each week. So maybe we don't know how long we're going to be home. So maybe every Friday night you want to do something special. So it's going to be a game night, or maybe it's a pizza party and you make homemade pizza, or maybe it's a dance party, or maybe it's a camping. And if it's too cold for you to do it, camp inside and then make s'mores. Just create something. Maybe you're bored today and you need something to look forward to. Say, hey guys, tomorrow night let's do a party night. Let's do a dance party, or let's have a movie night, or let's do a game night. It's something to look forward to. Maybe you can't go somewhere, but you can create that within your home. So think outside the box. Think of an event that you can do that you don't even have to leave your house to do. So the next one is create a list of all the activities that they like to do. So with my kids, I've sat down and I brainstormed all the things that I think they would have fun doing it. So things like playing Play-Doh, coloring, art, that's the same as coloring, painting. So play games, learn your flashcards, watch an educational video, call grandma, write a letter, all the different things that they can do. So when they say the B word and they're bored, you can refer them to the list. Did you check out the list? And they can help themselves spark some creativity of what they want to do. I've been homeschooling forever. So some of the things that all these parents are now suddenly homeschooling. And the reality is you didn't get to plan ahead to do this. You didn't think for a while. All of a sudden your kids are home with you and you're trying to do school at home. Relax. Don't push it. Your kids are stressed out as it is. Their world has completely changed. Their friends are changed. Their home, everything about it has changed. Just relax. Do what you can do. Keep reading. By reading, I mean books. You can read books online. You can read physical books. If you don't have any in your house, you can do Kindle books. You can exchange books with friends, disinfect them and say, hey, leave them on your porch and we'll switch out books. You can do audio books. There is different ways to do it, but get your kids to read and ask them questions about what they've read, and you can write about what they've read. The other thing is math. Whatever they're working on with math, just keep those skills up to par. So whatever it is, keep practicing those. If you can't move forward, then work on those. But there's so many free programs out there now for them to do math online and just practice. Go to that. Cool Math Games is one of them. There's so many, Khan Academy. So you can just Google it and tons of different ideas will come up. Lastly, share some tips for you as a mom. So what can you do as a mom? Number one, set some goals. I have a whole video on goal setting, but set some goals. What do you want to do? Do you want to declutter your house? You have the time now. Do you want to spring clean? Oh, you have the time now. Do you want to get smart? Read a book, read a blog, watch a how-to video. There's so many different ways, but set a goal of what do I want to accomplish? Do I want to learn a foreign language? I have time now on my hands. Now this is a little easier if you have older kids and not little itty bitty kids, but that's where you use their quiet room time. So right after lunch, 1 hour, they're in the room time. So you have that hour to do what you need to get done. The second thing is create a schedule. So as a tip as a homeschooling mom is I kind of have an outline for the day. If my kids wake up and I wake up and there's nothing, I don't have to go anywhere, I don't have to do anything, I don't get out of my pajamas, I mosey through the day, I do not get as much done. So create a schedule. What do you want to get done? I'm going to do breakfast, we're going to do a little bit of education, I'm going to do a how-to, or I'm going to do some kind of a learning activity at this time. We'll have lunch, then we'll have what they do quiet time. I will do a household chore for 1 hour. I mean, set up your day. Give flexibility in that, but kind of set out a schedule for your day. Structure is important. Set a schedule and an outline kind of what the day would be. And there'll be days that you will just survive and forget that whole schedule. And there'll be days that you will thrive and you will go boom, 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 right down that schedule. Number 3, phone a friend. Don't do this alone. When I was first a stay-at-home mom, I had a friend and I loved my headset. We would walk around and we would talk. I didn't have to go to her house. We would talk and we would just laugh and have fun and get through our days because we could connect with one another. There's no need to be isolated in this world now. So let's figure out a way to connect with our friends. Call someone, check on someone that you haven't heard from for a while. Ask, are they doing okay? Number 4, work out, exercise. You will feel better and you will look better and your health will be better. So yesterday morning, my daughter and I were in the garage, took out the car, and we did Zumba. There's YouTube videos on yoga. There's so many different ways to work out. I had a friend and she had posted this picture after having a baby and she looked like amazing. And I was like, ooh, but she didn't go to the gym. She did it in her home. I was like, okay, we can all be inspired to do something like that. So just because you can't get out and go to the gym, you can walk. So far, we can still go outside and walk. You can walk, you can do exercise in your house, make it fun with your kids. Number 5, for you as a mom, a tip, enforce nap times, quiet time, and bedtime. You will need this break. If you are new to the stay-at-home world, trust me, you probably needed a break and it was only 9:01 this morning, or maybe for you it was 7:01 a.m. So you need breaks. So your kids need to maybe go in their room to make sure they have 1 hour, 30 minutes, whatever you can get them to handle. Maybe you start out 15 minutes, the next time you do 30 minutes, the next time, after a while you can get it up to an hour where they're quietly playing with something in their room. Bedtime, reinforce bedtimes. Trust me, you need that break. It will help you rejuvenate and be a way better mom. My kids know after bedtime, I'm not a fun mama. Go back to bed. Number 6, be stressless. So we cannot alleviate all the stress in our life. We need to see what's going on in the news. So be informed, but not consumed. Your kids can feel the stress of what's going on. The more we read and the more the numbers start flipping up and how this is going over the top, can't even believe this. We start to hyperventilate and just get really worked up about it, and we get consumed. We need to sit back. We still have control. In our house, we can stay safe. We don't have to go out. If we do, we can be very, very careful and really, really limit those. There are some things we can control, so keep control of what you can. Be informed, but be really careful because that stress can be very overwhelming. And the last one is ride the wave. We will have ups and downs. We are not Mary Poppins. There is no nanny. There is no house cleaner that's coming. It is just us and these kids that we created. This is your family. You created it. Now you get to live in it. So this will either be a great form of birth control, being home with your kids, or we're going to have the baby boom of 2020. So that's already predicted. And there's tons of memes about it. But be flexible. If it's not working, adjust, switch. Create your day the way it works best for you. So I want to add, if you have, let me just end with this final thought. Today is your day. Today you get to decide how do you want it to happen. Some days you will feel so blog worthy, like, oh, they could write a whole blog on me. The next day you will be ashamed of what came out of your mouth or how you spewed or how whatever happened in your household. We will have highs and lows. That's part of growing. Apologize. If you blow it with your kids, apologize. Say, guys, I blew it. Mom shouldn't have acted like that. When you do have fun, enjoy those moments. Write down memories. Captivate them on the camera or in the video. Some days, let's be real, you're going to just survive. And there are other days that you will thrive. It's kind of like a ride on Merry and like Disneyland, we're going to have ups and lows. So I want you to remember you've been given the gift of time, family time. So you can either see the glass as half full or half empty. Either way, you're still holding the glass. Either way, you still have to walk this out. If you can flip your mindset and engage this time and embrace it and to really use it to the full capacity, the full ability that you can do, you will come out a stronger, better family. Find joy in the journey because we are all in this together, separately, but together. So moms, we can do this. Shoulders back, we're in. Could be a very bumpy ride, but we're committed to this and we can control what we can control. Let go of what you can't and embrace this season that we're all in together.